Hey YouTube, Jedi Fuka here, and in this video I want to go over the hero pool for the blessed summons, kind of show you guys what's going on with this and give you my opinions on it. Hopefully this video helps some of you guys out, and let's get right on into it. So for this hero pool, they are doing something that's kind of cool. They did this I think for one of the ones last time, but basically when you pull your heroes, you're going to be getting some awards here. At number 25 you get some epic heroes. For those of you who didn't play in Season 0, they made a mistake in Season 0 where they made this box gold, where it was only going to be epic, so everyone thought you got a guaranteed legendary, and people started pulling for this. And they had to go back and refund some people their dice. They basically, anyone who wanted, they took their champions away, gave them their dice back, and gave them the option to basically undo that mistake. And then they went back and changed this to purple so people realized it was an epic. It was kind of a funny thing, but I will give the developers some credit for that, because they did come back and fix the problem pretty quickly. And then that was kind of cool, because for the people who had pulled, if they got something really good, they were just able to go ahead and like keep whatever champion they got and not worry about it. Where people who got crappy pulls got lucky and they got to get their stuff returned to them, so that's pretty cool. But for this summon event, if you are gonna pull, you gotta pull 35 to hit your mercy, so more than likely you're gonna get this anyways, so that's good. You'll get the extra scroll in there. Really the only thing worth it in here is going to be the scrolls in the box at the end, so worth it because you can pick out a good epic hero. If you have a certain epic hero you really want, it's not a bad time to pull. It's nice to get that award on there, but it's also not the best time to pull, so we'll go over that here in a little bit and just keep that in mind. Now, coming over here into the heroes, I have a couple of these so I can talk about them. I've used a few, and there's a lot that I haven't used, so I can't give you too much details on all of them, but I can tell you about the ones that I have. Now, starting with Alicia here, she's a really good tank. I don't have her, but I have clanmates who have her, who use her in a lot of content, and they really like using her. She's one that I would recommend, that it wouldn't be a bad one to choose if you're trying to pull for something like this. Definitely really good tank. This one right here, I don't know much about her, so I'm not going to get into her. Garrett here, I have him maxed out on my Dauntless team. When I first pulled him, I was happy because he looked really cool, but I didn't know anything about him, so I wasn't super excited. But now that I've used him, he is one of my favorite champions for PvE and knocking out some damage. Super excited to have him. He's one that if you guys pull, he's definitely one to get excited about. He's super fun. He has a lot of good combinations. Highly recommend going for him. These next two here, I don't really know too much about. I haven't really gone through their kit too much, so I'm not going to get too much into them. This guy here, Lucian, if you guys were watching any of the tournament footage, you'll see I pulled him when we did the tournament. He was one of my few legendaries that I got in there. This guy is super good. I really like him in PvP. He helped me out a lot. He's got a recharge speed penalty that just does insane control on the enemy. Definitely one that's also worth going for if you're going to go for someone in this pool. For these next two roles, the only one I have is going to be this gentleman here, Hochadir. Now, Hochadir, he's a Frost champion. He does work well with Frost teams. However, I'm not going to lie to you guys, if you do not have other Frost champions that you're pairing him with, he's not going to be that great. Basically, the way he works is on his A3, he gives an attack up to all Frost champions on the team, so he'll help you maximize your Frost champions damage. But that bonus, that little extra attack up, does not go on anyone who's not a Frost champion, so he doesn't pair well with non-Frost champions. For damage, he can do decent damage, but he doesn't do a ton. He works better if you make him like your frontline tank and get that attack up, and then build him with like some skill haste to keep him going in front of your attack champion. So he is a good champion. He is not one that I would pull for if I was doing this event for sure. Oh, out of these champions, these are the three that I know the most. They're definitely three I think that are worth pulling for. Now, I know you guys are going to come in the comments and tell me about how one of these other ones is really amazing, and I'm sure that there is another amazing champion in here. Like I said, I just haven't really used these guys, so I'm not gonna push for a champion that I can't personally say I like a lot or that I've used a lot when I haven't used them, you know. I'm only going to tell you about the champions that I know about their kits and know a little bit about them. Now, the way this one works, if you go through it, it's similar to the other events we've had, but the problem with this one being with 3 is that you're only going to be able to get one of the 3 champions, and you're still kind of working at some similar rates, except this will jump up to this 20 times. So basically you go from when you pull your first legendary, you get a 2 times, then a 6 times, then a 20 times. Now if I'm looking at this correctly, then you start on the 2 times, so it is better than the other event in that you start on a 2 times, the other one starts on a 1 time, so that is nice. But do remember you're also going in between 3 champions. So this one is really only going to be great if you have 3 champions in here that you wouldn't mind getting one of the 3. If you're like going for one particular champion, or you're going for maybe like 2 of them that you really like, and the third one is there's no one in here that you really want for the third one, you might be less likely to want to pull on something like this because you have a high probability of getting the champion you don't want in that case. So keep that in mind when you're pulling on here. Now, my opinion as far as actually pulling on this hero pull is that I would say don't do it and definitely hold off, because of course if you go to our event tabs, all the content creators have been talking about it. Y'all have heard me say it too many times over here, but we got this Inferno and Twinkle on here. I did not finish Uteor event because I was waiting for this one to come out, and this is where I'm going to be using all of my dice at because I really want this guy. And if I can get any like extra copies to empower him, I might go for them. I haven't decided yet, but for sure I want to pull to get him. As you come in here, you'll see I've saved up 43 dice, but I also have a ton of Warmire saved up. So literally when he comes out, you guys are going to see a nice pull video, because however many I can get up to in Warmire, I'm going to just buy all the dice I can. And then we're going to go do some really cool pulls. So we'll have a good summon video come out when that comes up. As soon as that one drops, I'm going to do my best to go in there, get the pulls, and do some of that so I can let you guys know what's going on with that event. It is going to drop the same time on every server, so I'm not going to get that any sooner than you guys. I know my server's ahead, so I usually do get things a little bit ahead of time, but for that one I'm not. To finish this video off, we'll just do a quick recap of the Uteor event. So basically I didn't go for it because, like I said, I am saving up my stuff on there. We ended at 144 shards. I was pushing to get as many as I could, so this kind of gives you an idea. Hopefully that they'll kind of revamp that. I think they made this way too hard, especially for a first one. I'm on a really stout account, right? Like I played all the way through season 0, saved up all my dice in season 0, pulled them in this season. Now I have some really good champions. My account's rolling, and I didn't even get close to completing this without pulling. Basically, I would have had to pull, like, I think it was 60 dice in order to finish this, and that was just too much for me. I do like a good guaranteed champion, but for me, 60 dice plus all of the extra work it took to get it was just not quite worth it. So hopefully for next season they make us a little better. What I'm going to do is, because I do believe that these expire, I don't think that we get to keep them. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm basically telling you to redeem them in time. They're going to go away. I'm going to use it on these 2 dice right here, because Heliolite dice is always my #1 priority. And then with other 44, I don't know, you know, like the gold would kind of be nice. I might have to think about this one because I need gold, but even then that's not that much. The rest of these rewards are just really nothing too worth it. The purple dice, I'm more than likely not going to get anything out of this, but the thing is that at least with these I have a chance of getting an epic I don't have. The gold, that's not even enough to really level up a piece of gear, so you know, we're going to go with the purple dice here, and hopefully, you know, hopefully next season they make it to where, #1, it's easier to get whoever the boss is. I think for this season maybe like 150 would have been good, which I would have still been short and had to do a little bit of pulling for, and I wouldn't have minded that, but 200 was just way too high. And then outside of that, I think they should do something more like, since this is limited, they should have made it an unlimited amount of heliolite dice you could get with this. Because if they would have made this like an unlimited amount of dice, you still couldn't get a ton, because even at what I had, I would have only been able to get 2 dice, and then if I would have pushed a little harder, 3 dice. So maybe they could do something like that and add some scrolls into the shop. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Y'all have a good one.